With COVID-19 cases again on the rise in Indiana, we're seeing new information about the pandemic's impact on our schools, our economy, and our crime rate. Today we'll talk with Congressman Andre Carson, House Speaker Todd Huston, and State Auditor Tara Klutz. Plus, with state lawmakers leaving Texas for Washington, D.C., we're looking back at the impact of a similar walkout here in Indiana nearly 10 years ago. It's all ahead this Sunday in Focus. Indiana's daily case numbers continue to rise with the Delta variant spreading here in Indiana. We'll take a closer look at the impact the pandemic has had on our schools. We're also hearing about our economy this week and some good news from state officials about Indiana's budget reserve. State House reporter Kristen Eskow joining us this morning. And Kristen, politically speaking here, both sides kind of taking credit for this news in some ways, attempting to at least.
Well, exactly, Dan. There are certainly different perspectives as to who gets the credit, the Biden administration or Republicans here in Indiana at the state level. But Indiana officials say it's clear our state's economy has seen significant growth this past year.
We kept seeing record revenue coming in, whether it's sales tax, income tax, corporate tax.
Indiana Auditor Tara Klutz says those gains helped the state earn nearly $4 billion in reserves over the past year. As required by state law, about $1 billion of that money will be divided between a retirement fund for teachers and an income tax credit for Hoosiers.
When you're stimulating the economy, people are either going to save that money or they're going to spend it. We anticipate a lot of people spend it. We also think a lot of our employers are hiring employees and they're increasing their wages, and so we're getting more income tax.
The auditor says the state will figure out how much the refund will be worth per taxpayer based on how many Hoosiers filed taxes this year. The last time this refund was given out in 2013, each taxpayer earned a $111 credit.
We have great policies in place that encourage pro-growth businesses, and for that reason our businesses have flourished.
Politicians on both sides of the aisle are excited about the news, but differ on whether Indiana's government or the federal government deserves the credit.
Democrats delivered on the American Rescue Plan. It's because of the rescue plan is that Indiana has been able to stay in such strong financial position.
Meanwhile, state lawmakers say they're not ruling out the possibility of lowering taxes next session.
We want to always make sure we're being fiscally responsible and keeping the taxpayer in mind.
Now, it'll be several more months once we find out how much that tax credit will be worth per Hoosier taxpayer.
And you also asked Speaker Todd Huston about these troubling results we heard about from the iLearn test this week and what this means in terms of education in our state in the midst of this pandemic.
Well, that's right, Dan. The pandemic being blamed for those lower standardized test scores. Students in grades 3 through 8 take the iLearn, and state officials say just 28% pass the math and English portions of the exam. Now, that number was 37% when the test was given in 2019.
It was clearly disappointing, and through no fault of the student or the parents or the educators. Obviously an extraordinarily unique and challenging last 16 months, but it just means we need to be laser focused on how we help kids get caught up.
These are not problems that anyone can fix overnight. This is going to take an extended effort just to get us back to where we were.
Now, Indiana's Secretary of Education saying it could take some students years to catch up.
Okay, Kristen, thanks. In the meantime, speaking of the pandemic itself, as we mentioned off the top, the COVID-19 numbers have also been going in the wrong direction here in terms of our daily case count lately. This week we had a number of days with more than 500 cases, at least twice as many as we'd seen here typically in recent weeks. Health officials still urging vaccinations for those who've not done so just yet. Another big issue here nationwide and here in Indy throughout this pandemic, the issue of violent crime. This past week, the Indianapolis City County Council passing a proposal to put more than $3 million into anti-violence efforts. $1.5 million would go toward enhanced data technology. Another $1.8 million would fund initiatives focused on domestic violence reduction, mental health, and youth intervention and rehabilitation. The local FOP saying they wanted to see money spent in the short term on other crime reduction measures. This issue also being discussed this week at the White House, where the president met with mayors from around the country.
Well, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. We know there are some things that work And the first of those that works is stemming the flow of firearms used to commit violent crimes.
We need all hands on deck. It's not solely on the shoulders of elected officials. We need concerned citizens. We need folks to report crime as they see it happening. We need our faith leaders who are critically important. They don't get enough credit for the work that they do. And we need our educators. Everyone has to be a part of solving this crime issue. And I think if we get to the core root of why the crime is happening, it'll go a long way.
All right, meantime, in the nation's capital this week, Democrats from Texas left their state capital to come to Capitol Hill to try and prevent a vote in Texas on a controversial bill that they say could have a detrimental impact on voters' rights. Jesse Turnor has reaction from Washington.
The big lie is just that, a big lie.
President Joe Biden defended the 2020 election results and Americans' right to vote in the place where he noted we the people began, Philadelphia.
It's up to all of us to protect that right. This is a test of our time.
To push back on new state laws that he says make it harder for people, especially minorities, to vote, the president called on Congress to pass pending legislation.
I will sign it and let the whole world see it.
Back in Washington,
we need the power of the presidency.
Congressman Lloyd Doggett urged the White House and Senate to take action after his fellow Texas Democrats fled the state legislature in protest of a proposed voting law.
There has seldom been more at stake. That's why they're here.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer praised the Texas Democrats and is helping them plan their next move.
The bottom line is this: Democrats will not stop fighting to protect voting rights and defend our democracy.
But Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell is not impressed by their efforts.
Quite interesting to see the Democratic majority in the Senate concerned about minority rights in the state Senate in Texas. I guess if you live long enough, you'll see almost anything around here.
As Jesse Turnor reporting, meantime, Indiana GOP Chair Kyle Hupford this week saying, quote, Texas Democrats should have reached out to former Indiana House Speaker Pat Bauer and Indiana Democrats and asked them how their walkout in Indiana worked. Hupford and other Indiana Republicans this week, of course, making reference to those infamous walkouts in 2011 and 2012 when Indiana Democrats left the State House and went to Illinois to prevent a quorum in the right to work debate. They eventually lost on that issue and lost a number of seats in the General Assembly. Indiana Republicans have held a quorum-proof supermajority ever since. We'll talk about that with our panel coming up. Well, this week we're also talking about the tragic death of a former state lawmaker from Indianapolis. Police found Dan Forrestal dead at a local motel Wednesday night. After being arrested on a series of criminal charges last year, he resigned to focus on his mental health. Forrestal was 38 years old.